Good evening and welcome to Limassol Cyprus. Here we are on IFX Expo Week and I'm joined at the Limassol Yacht Club by Natalia Hunik.
Hi Andrew.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
And Natalia is Global Head of Sales at Advanced Markets and Fortex in America. So very, very knowledgeable about the institutional sector and how things work. And today in Cyprus, there's been for the very first time on this island, within the retail sector, discussions about automation of specific aspects of brokerages. So whether it can be possible to actually automate most of the tasks within a brokerage is a subject for discussion.
It's a great subject.
So as far as that's concerned, there's a few aspects as well, not just interaction with customers, which I think a lot of that could potentially be automated if it's done properly, but also the brokerage's interaction with the institutional providers that it works with and the technology vendors, because those automated processes have to deal with customer orders.
Right.
So how can a machine learning system not only work client side, but also work B2B side as well?
Right. Well, it's like we're looking into the future.
We are, yes.
Potentially.
Yes.
It's an interesting topic. I think from the retail brokerage perspective, as you mentioned, there's a lot of areas that can be automated. Marketing automation's been here for a while, and
Yes.
we use it, and most of the brokerages are using it. However, as this industry evolves, the artificial intelligence, and we see, older firms that are not in this industry using the AI to automate certain functions, like marketing, like Q&A, right? On request, you go to the website and you ask a question, and there's no human answering, but an artificial intelligence goes in and checks all the topics that were recorded in the knowledge database and serves you with the right answer. So certainly from the retail brokerage perspective, I do believe as the tools evolve, there will be a possibility to gain many efficiencies from automating certain tasks. Marketing, perhaps sales, saves the brokerage money, saves the client time. On the B2B side, I find that I don't envision this as something that could happen anytime soon.
I also don't.
Because B2B is really relationship based,
very
and
much so.
The products are complex in nature.
Yes.
I don't think you can answer it in the Q&A type of fashion.
No.
And I know, like for our firm, it's important to have a FaceTime with the client and understand the needs and get the feedback.
That's right.
And go take that feedback. Make changes if we think that feedback was very useful and there's something we can do, and that human part, the human interaction part, and the complexity of the product are probably the main obstacles to implementing this into the
That's a big
B2B
barrier.
space.
That's a big
absolutely.
barrier. Because the thing is, there's been also a lot of discussions over the last few months, and I was here at a MiFID conference about 2 weeks ago, but it's actually filtered its way into this conference, IFX Expo, this week as well. When the MiFID 2 comes in, which is quite soon, there's going to have to be reporting, publishing to specific trade repositories.
Okay.
That I don't believe there's enough long-term granular data that's able to be used by retail firms to actually, for an automated robot to learn the historic data from retail trading, to be able to make decisions of what to pass to specific liquidity provider, whether to internalize a trade, whether to send a report to a specific thing at whatever particular time. I don't think there's enough back data to actually make a system that would learn from
I think what it has to do
itself.
with the data, if you data mine, and I think those algorithms can be pretty sophisticated.
They can.
There's a lot of things that you can do, but more on the relationship side, you can automate that. When it comes to data mining, I think it can be automated, and it already is. A lot of it already is.
Well, I wonder whether that kind of data mining can be automated in a way that it would get enough, it would teach the machine on the machine learning side, the AI side, enough to be able to know what to do with a specific order flow. or whether a specific client is using a certain type of trade, what kind of risk management to use.
Right, so if you're talking about the risk management,
I'm not sure about.
I'm not sure about it either. I mean, this has been in the marketplace, this talk has been in the marketplace for a while, and there are certain tools available to brokers to make those decisions automatically, but I think many of them found out that, they tried it, and they found out that without the human making a judgment, it's really tough to trust that algo to make judgment when it comes to real money, because there's a lot of real money involved, and it's a tough call, and it's really hard to trust technology. And we know that on the other side, in the institutional sector, banks are automating jobs, right? A lot of dealers are out of the job.
Well,
New York Stock Exchange does not have the traders anymore, right?
No, they don't. That's right. And Sberbank, they made 3,000 people redundant in just one department.
Yeah, there we go. So it's certainly eliminates a need for a lot of jobs that were probably mundane and probably not as enjoyable.
That's for sure.
At the same time, there on the flip side, right? There are this liquidity issues that we've seen in the market, even when it comes to FX, like the flash crash of the British pound, and there's a lot of talk in the market that was a side effect from using the algorithms, right? Because technology sometimes does have issues,
right,
and has glitches, and those glitches impact the real market, and it creates subsequently creates real losses on the account.
And then who's accountable?
It's really fine to
find
someone accountable. Yeah,
very
at the end of the day, very
well,
difficult.
here's an example of it was a human error, but ultimately it was created by an automated algorithm. 5 years ago, when this kind of technology was much more primitive than it is today, KCG connected a test algorithm to a production server, switched it on, and that particular algorithm was not able to detect that was a production environment.
Right.
So there was no machine learning interface.
Right.
It was just the test system was an exact replica of the production system, so they could test it.
Right.
But when they connected it to the live market, this test algorithm could not figure that was a live market. It killed the company, bankrupt the company overnight.
Yeah, I remember that.
If there was, that's for 2012, August 2012, if that had some kind of machine learning system, there would be a way of working out what system it was. But I don't think for 1 second that we're going to see anything like that, because first of all, as you say, relationships between brokerages and tier one prime brokerages and tier one banks is a relationship-based business on a permanent basis. Every day, the head of EFX at a prime of prime is talking to the EFX division of the bank they deal with every day, all the time, and they know each other for years, and they work on that. So a computer talk to a computer is sterile.
Yeah, there's no trust there.
There's no trust. It's sterile. Even though a human can make a mistake, the sterility of a computer interface would potentially lead to an error. Or a lack of understanding which would inhibit the business possibilities. That's a problem. But I think you're right, that where we will see this creep into this industry is automating things like account management and back office, administration, that kind of thing. And potentially some of the onboarding of customers, because that's becoming a bit expensive now. It's like $1,200 to get one customer on board. Customer spends $3,800 with a company and withdraws after 6 months. By the time you've paid for everything, it's just not worth it. So I can see that being automated, and I can see it today at IFX Expo. There was talk about some account managers it was actually Oded Sheffer from CPAT, who's very much an expert at this kind of thing. He said that he doesn't imagine that the human loss of jobs will be that bad. What will happen is new types of jobs will be created.
Yes, I do agree with that.
They'll be more analytical because of the machine learning system they have to supervise.
Right.
Plus, who were account managers, who were just basically call center account managers, will become analysts that supervise the systems. And there'll be less of them, but they'll be more specialized. That makes sense.
It does make sense. I do agree with Oded on this one. I do think absolutely there's going to be a new sector of jobs that will evolve as a result of it, and perhaps those jobs are going to be more exciting and more fulfilling. And you cannot leave machine unsupervised, so you still have to supervise, and it probably is really tough to automate everything, right? Even if you automate the marketing to certain extent, you still need humans to
Yes.
make certain decisions and analyze the data, and I think humans can do that much better than the machine would.
Yeah, I think that's
in
right.
certain cases.
That's absolutely right. And I think it will be, if any AI does filter its way on any scale at all, it will be at the customer-facing end of the retail sector, I would imagine.
Yes.
Not at any other higher. There will be no. I can't foresee any fully automated brokerage that goes right the way from the beginning to where it reaches the tier 1 bank.
Right.
I just can't envisage it.
Right. Yeah, that's tough.
Even
to
Plus
imagine.
500 has 40 staff who are all senior level, analytical and developers and marketing experts that are supervising this system that's made their company into a $1 billion company with just a small amount of. Even that is automation, but with a strong input from key personnel.
Yes, absolutely. And I've seen it in other markets as well. You can certainly run a very lean organization if you have the right technology and you know how to use it and how to apply it.
That's right, absolutely. Good stuff. Nice to see you, Natalia.
Nice to see you, Andrew.
Natalia Hunik, Global Head of Sales at Advanced Markets and Fortex.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here at Limassol Marina in Cyprus on IFX Expo Week. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.